Final one, Don't Look Up.
This is not real. This is not real. This is not real. This isn't happening. Kate, tell me this isn't really happening.
I hear there's something you don't like the looks of.
We discovered a very large comet.
Oh, good for you. It's headed directly towards Earth.
This comet is what we call a planet killer.
So I'm going to say that the thesis of my piece I'm going to say about this movie, and the reason why I ultimately didn't want to pick it, I'm going to see if you can kind of gather why. But I'm going to say up front, it's a satirical movie, and the satire is very heavy-handed. It's like super heavy-handed. And I will explain why. And Jordan, I want you to kind of stop me at any moments where you feel like this may sound familiar. So, Don't Look Up is a movie about two scientists played by Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence. I was going to say Aniston. Jennifer Lawrence. They discover a comet that will arrive at Earth in 6 months.
Stop.
Really, that sounds familiar to you? Oh.
Yeah, there was one where it was Bruce Willis and there was an asteroid and it was going to come to Earth.
It does sound like Armageddon. You're right. Okay, stay with me. Continuing on. So they discovered that this comet, actually not an asteroid, comet, will crash into Earth within 6 months. And it is roughly, they say the actual measurements, but in rough estimation, they say it's roughly the size of the Chrysler building. And essentially...
Okay, so it's Armageddon.
Yeah,
okay,
when it crashes into Earth, it will kill everybody on the planet. Everything on the planet. It will kill everything. Basically like the effect of like 100 nuclear bombs. And so...
yeah, Armageddon. I've seen Armageddon.
So Leonardo DiCaprio and Jennifer Lawrence go up the various chains of commands and go to the government. And the president, a blonde-haired, older person, played by Meryl Streep, who is, in effect, a total moron.
You got 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Go.
A comet between 5 to 10 kilometers across that we estimate came from the Oort cloud. And using Gauss's method of orbital determination and the average astrometric uncertainty of 0.04.
Whoa.
I'm so bored. Just tell us what it is. Seriously, stop.
What Dr. Mindy is trying to say is that there's a comet headed directly towards Earth.
And then what happens? Like a tidal wave?
It will be far more catastrophic. There will be mile-high tsunamis.
So how?
And just completely incompetent, but like very charismatic, but completely incompetent. And one of the people in her cabinet, her Secretary of Defense or something, is her son, played by Jonah Hill. Really, none of this sounded familiar to you? Oh, she's the President of the United States, to be clear. Not ringing any bells? No?
No.
Really? For a president whose child is in the White House with them and working for them? Blonde hair? A moron?
I mean, are we saying in relation to real life?
Yes,
because
yes,
if that's the case,
this is satire. This is a satire. It's a satire.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yes, it does.
Yeah?
Sorry. One thing that I do need to tell you is my phone is at 15%.
Oh no! Okay, shit.
So we have two options here. One, we bull rush through 4 movies, or I stop using my microphone and headphones and plug my phone in.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna have to unplug. We're gonna have to plug the phone in and switch to.
And we'll use my Bluetooth headphones.
Yeah, and Jordan's audio is gonna take kind of a dip. We're doing this later in the day. This is why this is happening. Dang it, Jordan! You should have had your phone plugged in all morning. That's okay. I didn't think of that either. I don't think you can hear me. I'm just gonna vamp. I was implying it sounds like Donald Trump. For those of you who are a little slower at home, while we wait for Jordan to click back in here, and he'll obviously tell me when he can hear me.
I can hear you now.
Oh man, that audio quality took a dip. Oh well.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is what happens.
Yeah, it would happen. It's what happens when we do it later in the day. Don't worry, that won't be a problem next week. But it's okay. Um, it's just for part. It's for what is going to probably be 30 to 40 minutes of one episode. Y'all can suck it up. Just talk for me though, Jordan, just so I know what you sound like.
I sound like this.
Oh yeah, you sound hollow and pingy, man. That Yeti mic sure is an upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, considering you're currently hearing me through like here.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry. What was I saying? Before, don't look up. I was describing don't look up, and I was getting at the fact that it's Donald Trump.
Yeah, you were saying that it was Donald Trump. Yeah,
it's Donald Trump. And so, they go to them, and they're basically like, we don't care.
Moment. I say we sit tight and assess.
Sit tight and assess.
Sit tight and assess.
You want us to sit tight.
And then assess.
Effectively, they don't care. And so the decision is made to take it to the media. Oh, we need to leak this to the media, and then they'll care. And so they take it to what is like, in effect, I don't know how else to describe it other than like a morning, like, like Good Morning America kind of like a morning show, like global news. They had like that 4 hour, like one of those.
Yeah.
And they go on there.
I know what you're talking about.
And they're basically
like a Kelly Clarkson show.
Kind of, yeah, sort of, but yeah, sort of, yeah, kind of, not really, kind of. For the purposes of this, it's easier for it to be that. But they bring on what is ineffective, an Ariana Grande. It's Ariana Grande, but she's playing another character, but it's just Ariana Grande, and they bring her on first. And she does this whole show about getting back together with this celebrity boyfriend. And so everyone's really into that. And then they go on next, and they're told as they're about to go on, the hosts love it when they bring on fun science guests who like are there to present fun science stuff. And Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio are like, do they like not know why we're here? Like, because they're there obviously to tell everyone that you're all gonna die in 6 months. They're like, this is not a fun topic. Like, and so they go on and they keep trying to like say we found this comet and it's gonna hit Earth and whatever. And they're all trying to make it fun or whatever. They're all trying to be fun and chipper. And Jennifer Lawrence freaks out and is like, oh my God, we're all gonna fucking die. Do none of you care?
When we're all 100% for sure gonna fucking die!
Like, do none of you care about this? And she becomes a meme of this like freak out of this like hysterical chick, and she's got red hair, and she like becomes this meme of like this hysterical chick who's just freaking out about nothing. And so in the meantime, the American government, like, they're trying to say that this comet is happening, and all these scientists are like, well, how do we know that the comet is even real? And Leonardo DiCaprio is like, no, the comet is very real. We have like, there's all sorts of science has backed this up. All sorts of scientists have seen the data. They've looked at the data. Like, they've all confirmed it. They've all corroborated it. It's happening. It's coming. It's coming. We need to do something about this now. And NASA, the head of NASA, is like, and stop me when this sounds familiar again. It's like, no, it's not actually happening. And it's revealed that the head of NASA isn't actually a scientist, but rather a donor to the president, and a donor of this rich billionaire who will become important later. So she's immensely unqualified to run the department that she's been put in charge of.
Oh boy, does that just sound like most of American politics,
right? And so, she's like, no, it's all fake. We've had our scientists look at it. It's all fake. It's not real. And so then the president gets into a huge scandal where it's revealed that they were either sending nudes or sleeping with their pick.
A porn star?
No, with their pick for Supreme Court. And so there's this massive scandal. And so in order to hide the scandal, she decides that she's now going to acknowledge that the comet is real and that it's something that they need to deal with. And Jonah Hill's the whole time just being a dick and a
is a tenured professor of astronomy at Michigan State.
I'm sorry, did you say Michigan State?
Exactly. They have an excellent astronomy department.
You say so.
You want to see my SAT scores?
I'm sorry, who is she?
Are you her son?
I'm chief of staff boy with the dragon tattoo, so I'm doing fine.
How many tampons can you fit in that bag?
As many as I'd want.
Moron, and he's Eric Trump. He's either Eric Trump or he's Don Jr. He's one of them. So they ultimately decide that, yeah, what they're gonna do is they're gonna launch a bunch of nukes at the asteroid, and that will push the asteroid out of the way so it won't hit Earth. This is now the plan, and all the humans have come together and they've created this plan. It looks like it has an 80% chance of success. It's gonna work. And in the meantime, they've introduced a billionaire, like a
Hello, everyone.
super billionaire, who is like a scientist type guy, who's like, smart.
And his name is Ronald Rump.
No. No, you'll hold on. Let me finish my description. He's super smart, and he's creating different technology, and he created a spaceship to go into space, and he's created a phone. He's presented as sort of an amalgamation of Elon Musk, he's more similar. I don't think you know who Richard Branson is. But he's the guy who's like in charge of Virgin Mobile, long hair, like bleach white smile. He's more Richard Branson, but with like Elon Musk. So like he initially creates a phone that's supposed to like detect how happy you are, but all it really does is just like send you a video of a cat and a dog, and that's it. It's not really good at judging emotion. So he becomes involved because he's supporting the president financially, and he's like, oh, it turns out that the asteroid has all these earth-saving metals, all these rare earth metals, and they can't use the nukes to blow it up, because if they do, they won't be able to get the minerals and basically profit off of this asteroid. So he convinces them to abort the mission as it's about to happen. Also, there's this running thing throughout it where everyone just keeps denying that the asteroid exists. They're like, it's not real, it's not real, it's not real. The asteroid.
Well, that just sounds like
bad, or it won't be as bad as
that just sounds like real life,
right? And so, I know we don't like summarizing, but I have to, just to get to my point. So asteroid.
I'm just gonna lean back here.
I mean, you're making faces at me like you're absolutely invested in this, so you can get all the way off my back because you're absolutely invested in this, so you can shut the fuck up. So asteroid. Also, from a technical aspect, the more I talk on my Yeti, the more I talk into my Yeti, the less you have to talk into your shitty Bluetooth speakers.
So it's funny that you say that. Here's what I was gonna say: is I was gonna actually let you do your second one as well, and then because my phone is getting a charge while we're doing this, so then my phone might get enough of a charge that I can switch back to my good mic.
Do you want to
then talk with the good mic?
Do you want then to I can do my habit scenes real quick then? You want me to do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I'm saying you do both of yours to give my phone as much time to charge as I can, so that when I get to do mine, I can switch to the Yeti.
Beautiful. That's a good idea, co-host Jordan. That's a good idea you just had. So okay. So
I do get one every now and then.
Oh yeah,
it does happen once in a while.
Billionaire Elon Musk. So he's presented as he's like, oh yeah, man, it's
well,
you know all this. Wait, can you not hear me? Oh no. Hold on.
Come on.
So he's a parody of Elon Musk, or at least he's a person on the left. If you're a left or if you're a right leaning person, idea of Elon Musk.
There we go.
Sorry. I was
sorry. It disconnected you from my headphones, and then you were coming out the phone, and I wasn't hearing anything, and I was like, "Why?"
Okay. So anyway, so yeah, this guy's like he's basically Elon, or certainly he's the millionaires are actually not very smart. Like he presents himself as like, oh, it's about the future of humanity, and like we can use the minerals from this to like transform our way of life. And so then people become, oh, I'm pro comet, I'm pro, I'm for the jobs that the comet will create, I'm for that. It becomes about that. And so then quite suddenly it becomes everyone's for the comet now. And in the meantime,
Sorry. To be clear, the comet that is going to destroy the planet.
and kill literally everybody on it. Yes.
When you say they're pro comet,
Yes,
they're pro planet getting destroyed.
So well, they believe that the Elon Musk can send little robots, highly advanced robots that will drill into the comet and burst it from one gigantic comet into several little comets that then will land not
So
safely,
Armageddon.
like Armageddon, and can be controlled, but with robots.
So in this world, those individuals have seen Armageddon and are like, "Oh, this Elon Musk guy can just Armageddon this bitch."
No, they come to it completely on their own. They don't even reference Armageddon. Although now that you say that, that does sound an awful lot like Armageddon. But no. And so this is the plan, and they're gonna mine all of the rare elements from the meteor and make a shit ton of money off of it and become super rich. At least this is what they feel, and so the entire time, like, oh, has this been peer reviewed? Has this been peer reviewed? Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, and the whole thing is whole other thing is there's this whole subplot with Leonardo DiCaprio, who is part of the team of scientists that discovers it, but it's actually Jennifer Lawrence that discovers it. And when they go on the TV show initially, again, she becomes a meme with how crazy she looks, and everyone gloms on to Leonardo DiCaprio, and he becomes the sexy scientist. In effect, I guess he's supposed to be like almost like he's Leonardo DiCaprio, so he's white, but it kind of feels like they're kind of going for like he's Neil deGrasse Tyson, basically, where he becomes a celebrity, and he starts cheating on his wife with this like one of the hosts of the morning program, whatever. And so he's becoming very like enamored with celebrity, and he's becoming famous, and he cares more about that than actually like stopping or solving this problem. And at one point he's on like their version of Sesame Street, talking to a Sesame Street puppet, being like, and this is how they're gonna blow up. This is the plan they're gonna use to blow up the comet and separate it into these pieces. And you can call this number to support it, whatever. But as it's going on, he's like, yeah. Everyone's like, oh, has it been peer reviewed? Has it been reviewed by other scientists? And the president and her son and Elon Musk are like, yeah, it's fine, whatever, it's fine. And more Leonardo DiCaprio is like, more and more of my friends and like scientists are like quitting this project because they're either they're being fired because they're asking questions, or they won't sign off on it. Does that maybe sound a little familiar to you?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I forgot that was the premise.
Certainly doesn't sound at all like real life.
And so yeah, they're progressively all of the scientists that were at the beginning of it on that it's just Leonardo DiCaprio. He starts to kind of break a little bit with the fakeness, and he goes on the show and he freaks out.
Look, let's establish once again that there is a huge comet headed towards Earth. And the reason we know that there is a comet is because we saw it. We saw it with our own eyes using a telescope. I mean, for God's sakes, we took a fucking picture of it. What other proof do we need? And if we can't all agree at the bare minimum that a giant comet the size of Mount Everest hurtling its way towards planet Earth is not a fucking good thing, then what the hell happened to us?
And he's like, don't you like fucking get it? We're all gonna fucking die, and you all wasted your time. Like we had the chance to avert this, and we didn't do it. We had the chance to avert this, we didn't do it. We've wasted our time. We're all gonna die, basically. And he starts like freaking out, and he leaves the team. And this is the point where I'm gonna ask you if you care if I spoil the end of this movie.
It's probably best to save it.
I mean, all right. You sure?
No, I'm not. I was just thinking if you did it, knowing our next weeks, if you wanted to, if you
Oh,
wanted, then I
or in for Penny.
just say it. Just
Okay,
go. Just do
so
it.
Leonardo DiCaprio, yeah, he quits the Elon Musk project and he goes back to his because he's been cheating on his wife with this chick. So he goes back to his wife and just sort of accepts the fact that they're all gonna die basically. Um, and so they go out to go shopping for like one last dinner, one last supper, basically. And it's kind of interesting because Jennifer Lawrence, she at a certain point, she does something where she freaks out again, and the government is basically like, we won't arrest you for blabbing about this thing because they get sworn into secrecy about the fact that the comet's coming to Earth. And she breaks that to try and warn people, and the government's like, we won't arrest you, if you don't say anything ever again. She's like, fuck it, fine, I don't care. I just want you guys to leave me alone, basically. And so she goes back to like her regular life, and she meets Timothy Chalamet, who is this like skater shoplifter guy who is also secretly into God and is evangelical Christian and is super religious. And so they all have like a last supper, and like he prays for them or whatever. And Jordan, would you like to know if Elon Musk's plan succeeds?
Yo, what was that?
We lost beat number 12.
Beat number 22 failed to launch.
It's fine. It's fine. We had anticipated a margin for error. Everything is fine.
Yes. Yes, I would.
Jordan, you better believe it fails spectacularly. And they launch these pods into space, and immediately, like 2 or 3 of them immediately explode upon takeoff, and then like about 2/3 of them make it to the asteroid. More than half of them get like destroyed while trying to connect with that meteor, which is obviously moving very fast, and they didn't calculate for the speed of the thing, and so most of them are destroyed. And like, they assured me that if 24 of these survived, it would still work. And
Yes, 24 drones is enough.
Well, how many can we lose?
How many more?
and she's like, wow, well, is it still gonna work? He's like, how many are there? And so the implication being that like he presents himself as being smart, but he's actually a very stupid man. Like at one point, Leonardo DiCaprio is like, it feels less like you're looking at this as a scientist and more as a businessman. He's like, what? No, this is all about science. What are you talking about? He's like, he's just like, you're skipping a lot of steps here. And so it doesn't work. They attempt to blow that, and it really, all it succeeds in doing is just blowing off a couple of chunks of the asteroid, but it's still coming. And there's a bit where there's a bit where the Elon Musk is like, oh, I have all these guys who can like look at these algorithms who could basically predict exactly what how you're gonna die to like 96%. And he says to Leonardo DiCaprio, oh, you're gonna die alone. And he said, the president's like, oh, I need to know, how do I die? And he's like, you get eaten by I can't remember what the name is, but something like Zorkak or Fleet Flock or something. It's like a weird alien name. Like, you get eaten by that. We don't know what that is yet, but you get eaten by it. And so after Elon Musk's plan fails, it's revealed that they've created a spaceship that they're all gonna, that can fit 2,000 people, and they can get away. And so they go to run for it, and basically they all sort of slowly start to realize that his plan has failed, because it's the last attempt to stop this asteroid. And he sees that it's failing, and he's like, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. And he leaves the room, and then the president does the same thing, and Jonah Hill's left standing there, like they'll be back. She'll be back. They'll be back. She'll be back. And yeah, they fuck off.
They're not coming back. So
and then the president phones Leonardo DiCaprio and is like, yeah, we have the spaceship, whatever. And then they all die. Like it should.
That's dark.
Yeah, it shows the entire planet. The planet dies. There's a really upsetting scene where it's Ariana Grande. Oh, sorry, I left out a major part where eventually it hits the point where they can now see the comet in the sky. It's close enough to Earth you can now see it in the sky, and they're all like, just look up. Like if you just look up, you'll literally see it's there. It's coming. Like at one point he's like, yeah, people keep saying that the comet's doesn't exist. We have pictures of it, for God's sake. We have proof it exists. Like it exists. It's
it is absolutely a thing.
It is 100% a thing. That's going to happen. And so there's a point where the government starts saying, don't look up. Like just show them that they're wrong, that they're lying to you, and don't look up, And so it gets to a certain point where she's doing like one of her rallies, and one of her supporters looks up and can literally, it's close enough now that you can't ignore it. It's there. And so Ariana Grande's character comes back and she sings this big anthem about how you need to look up. And there's a line in it that's really upsetting where she's like, we really fucked this up, guys. We really fucked it up. We fucked it up so bad, and we can't fix this one. And there's nothing we can do. We fucked it up.
Listen to the goddamn qualified scientists. We really fucked it up this time. It's so close, I can feel the heat big time.
And it's like this real power anthem, like one of those songs that's supposed to be inspiring, but the lyrics are so fucking upsetting. And then they all die. They all die except for the spaceship that's basically programmed to find. It puts people in cryostasis, and this is one of my. I am going to get to my criticisms, which I will make brief, I promise. But yeah, they're in cryostasis, and it turns out they survived, and they arrive on a new planet, and they're all naked for some reason, and they all walk out, and a creature walks up, and the president walks up to it, and it eats her. And the Elon Musk that eats her, and she dies, and she's dead now. And one of the people's like, "What is that?" And Elon Musk is like, "It's a floor flap," like implying that that's where. and then that in post credits, finally, the only person left alive, the last human on Earth is Jonah Hill's character, who will obviously inevitably die. But it's just real funny because it's like they kind of make it like, oh yeah, with Elon Musk's help they get away, but you see that they didn't actually get away because you see as the camera fades to black, you see all the creatures coming up to them like they're about to all get eaten. So it was like inevitable, all of the humans died. So with that,
that's dark.
What did you think this was satirizing, Jordan? Based upon my descriptions of it, which I've done an okay job of doing, what would you say that this is a satire of? Our humanity's response to
aliens.
Okay, no, let's try this again. A real life thing that happened. This is satirizing humans' indifference towards
COVID-19.
Interesting. That's so okay. So, this movie's about climate change. That's what it's supposed to be about. But because it got delayed by the pandemic and it came out in 2021, the message and I'm guessing the stuff about peer review and mistrusting science was added in maybe later because part of this, it was done during COVID-19. So it came out in 2021, and I think the messaging is muddled because it can't decide if it wants to be about COVID-19 or whether or not it wants to be about climate change, and it's confusing. And it's just really
just from what you've described in all the allusions and comparisons to Donald Trump, it just immediately made me think of COVID-19.
Right, exactly. That's what it makes me think of too. That's what made me think. And they read about very pointedly, it's about climate change. And it's like once you know that, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I can also see that.
Yeah, now that you've said that, I can see that.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, because of it's very, but yeah, the messaging is muddled. I would say that it doesn't. It's also really, even as a guy who like leans left and like has made fun of the people that this movie is making fun of. It's so heavy-handed. Like it's really heavy-handed. That would you agree out the back of this before I move on to my habit scenes? Out the back of this, would you say that it sounds heavy-handed?
I would.
Yeah.
Also,